Brandon Campbell, and I am the Director of Small Business and Inclusion for the Little Rock Regional Chamber, and you're watching Our Story. Today, I have the pleasure of having here with me Sam Carrasquillo, the founder of SE Home. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Brandon.
Well, thank you for having me here
of course, man.
at SE Home.
Anytime.
And so your story is very fascinating to me. You know, you founded SE Home, which had become one of the largest minority-owned companies in the state of Arkansas.
That's right.
Please tell me a little bit more about, and then also to our viewers out there that's watching this, your entrepreneurship and small business journey. It's very fascinating.
So my journey started, really early, I think, compared to most folks. But my family moved from Puerto Rico to Arkansas when I was 15. I was about to turn 16, and whenever we got here, we had no means whatsoever, and so I had to help my parents get food on the table for my brothers and I, and so I decided that I would go out and mow yards, and I knew very little English, but at 15, I'm about to turn 16, I started mowing yards, and then from there it grew to somebody said, hey, you're mowing my grass, but what about you come in and paint this room for me? So I was like, I've never painted, just like I've never mowed grass, so I'll paint a room. And then it went from, hey, what about, do you know how to lay tile? And I didn't know how to lay tile. I was like, you know what, I'll learn, and because of my cheap prices, they were up for me learning in their projects, and so that's how it started. And then it morphed into just a pure roofing company, and that's when we started to see our growth.
And tell us about you were a high school student, and you had already invested in real estate while you were still in school.
Yeah, so I bought my first flip home when I was 17. I just, I got interested in it just because as my business started to, my mowing business started to grow, I decided, what else are other people invested in? What are the rich folks invested in? And I noticed that everybody that had something had real estate. So I wanted to get, my hands on that too. And so I went out and started researching and found a little house in Jacksonville. It was in the $40,000 range. And at that time, you could walk into a bank and pretty much anybody could get a loan, but that wasn't the case for me. It took me months and months and months and months to get a loan, and a lot of no's, but eventually I was able to get a yes. My substitute teacher in high school actually started a mortgage company, and so he's like, man, I'll help you out, and so he was able to do the deal so that I could get my first flip home, and so I fixed it up myself and I sold it, did well with that, and decided that that's something I was going to keep doing as any company that was involved with grew. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And what inspired you to start SE Home?
So SE Home, it just grew from the mowing to the painting to the laying of the tile to actually met a couple guys that were in the roofing business, a couple laborers, and so they came up to me and said, hey, we know how to put roofs on. Why don't you try to see if you can get a roof? And so believe it or not, there was a real estate lady that was pumping gas at a gas station and walked up to my dad and asked my dad if he knew any roofers, and my dad's like, my son might be able to do it. And so I got with that lady and did her roof, and that turned into another roof, which then turned into another roof, and it just grew from there. So it was kind of serendipitous where that wasn't meant to happen, but it happened, and it grew from there.
And what would you say is probably some of the keys to your success with SE Home and also all your other entrepreneurship ventures?
So the difference with us and SE Home and everybody else was that I noticed firsthand that all these smaller, or all these companies, period, because we were tiny then, they would take money up front, and that just didn't make sense to me. Why would they take money up front? They haven't taken the roof off or fixed the plumbing or done anything yet, and they haven't bought any materials. They haven't had the laborers out. Mm-hmm. So why are they taking money up front? And I just thought that was really weird. So I thought if I could just go in and tell people, hey, listen, here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put your roof on, but you don't pay me until you're satisfied. Then I could build trust, and the customer's holding all the chips. Mm-hmm. And so I decided that that's the way that we would operate our business. So our business grew based on the trust. We were trusting them to pay us if we did our job. And so that grew and grew and grew. And so I think people came to us before they would go to our competitors because they knew that they would have to put 50% down on these projects. With us, they were holding all the cards. And so we had to perform in order to get paid. Mm-hmm. And so I think that made us grow.
And I know a lot of people, we know the successes, but sometimes we don't know the challenges that help them help them get to that level of success. Tell us, like, what are some challenges that you probably experienced early on in your career that probably helped shape SE Home?
I think I've experienced all of the challenges, but I mean, I think the first one is arrogance. I think arrogance. Whenever you get into business, you start feeling like you're better than others, and so you start thinking that everything that you touch turns into gold, and then you're clearly mistaken when things start falling apart. So I think arrogance is something that people don't talk about. Being an entrepreneur is a really lonely place, and so there's not a lot of people you can talk to about the things you want to do, and even if you could talk to them, I don't know if you would listen, because you feel like they don't know what they're talking about. And so because of that, you make a lot of errors. Another big thing is hiring people. It's really, really, really hard to hire a good team and to have that culture that you need to be successful in the business. So hiring folks, getting in your own way, those are big issues that I faced.
Now, you're a proud member of the Chamber, so how has the Chamber helped facilitate that growth, and how have you benefited as a member of the Chamber?
So I always say the Chamber is a crucial part to any business here in Little Rock, or anywhere, any part of the Chamber that you can become. But it's a crucial part because it gives you access to other people that are in the same journey that you're going through. Just being able to go there and meet other folks that are still they're still in that same place, in that journey with you, and it makes it feel like it's not as lonely. Plus, you get to get contacts, but however, it's what you put into it. So if you go in there and you hang out once and you think your business is going to grow, it's not going to happen. You need to consistently go and show up and show up to the activities and volunteer and help other businesses and contribute to the community. And if you contribute to the community contributes in your business, and your business therefore grows. So it's an essential part of what we do here at SE Home and what we've done in the past and what I'll do in the future. So.
And you're a recent graduate of Leadership with Greater Little Rock. I want to congratulate you on that.
Appreciate
and share some of your experience, what that was like.
That was an amazing experience. I recommend it to anybody that's a business owner, but not only a business owner, a good employee, somebody that wants to grow in our community and have a leadership role in our community. Greater Leadership, it's an amazing experience. We did a lot of really cool things, from flying in helicopters to flying in C-130s, but also getting to the down and nitty-gritty details on how our community operates. And I think that's something that, even though I've lived in Little Rock a long time, I didn't know exactly who were the players that were in just different positions and how to access those players and how to help the community in a deeper, more understanding way to make the community grow. And so, it was an incredible experience.
Now, a lot of times we hear about, startups and companies that grow, but you don't hear enough about, and I guess, an entrepreneurship ecosystem about those who get to a point of success where they're able to sell their companies. I understand that you just recently sold your company, which to me is so important, like those type of stories in our ecosystem to try to really inspire and promote startup activity and let others know that you can start a company here in Little Rock, you can grow this company, and then when you want to exit, you can sell off the company. My first question to you is, what led to you selling your company?
So, I mean, that's a deep question there. So I'll say a few things. So first of all, I think being an entrepreneur is the cool factor right now. Mm-hmm. And so everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to start the next Facebook. And so I always try to tell people that you don't have to be in the next Facebook. The one percenters in Arkansas make about $228,000, and a lot of people just think 1%ers are multi-millionaires. Where that's not the case at all. So you can open and establish and grow a company here that will get you to that 1% level that everyone wants to be in, and it doesn't need to be in tech. It could be in roofing. It could be in sheetrock. It could be in plumbing. It could be in so many different things. It's not just tech. So I would say that the other part of it is. What got me to sell my company, which is really important. Other people start their companies, but they never think of the exit. Yeah. And the exit is really important. And so if you don't have an exit plan, then you end up just closing. Yeah. Because eventually just the business cycle will kind of die and you'll die with it. And so to me, it was really important to move on from it. I started so early. I started when I was 15. I'm now 36. So at 35, I'm 20 years in. I think it was time for me to move on, transition into other things, and so it was important to me. So I found a young couple that are starting their journey, and so I've transitioned with them and worked out a deal with them so they can grow and take SE Home to the next 20 years.
And what are some of the opportunities you see for the future for SC Home and the new ownership?
Yeah, so I'm full confident that the company will continue to grow and will continue to grow and be a staple in our community with the new owners. And that's because they were trained under me and they were with me a long time. I've helped them, and they usually pick up the phone and call me, and so they're working really hard to continue to grow. So trend wise, I think the roofing business has been around forever. It will continue to be around forever. For me, it'll be now that I'm stepped out of it, it'll be real estate. Like I said earlier, I was doing real estate when I started, so now I'm going to full focus on my real estate career. So yeah.
How do you see your next chapter playing out, and what would you say would you like it to be your conclusion? I'm still a young guy, and so I like to. I'm kind of taking the time. I've decided I was going to take 3 months off after I sold the business. I've enjoyed those 3 months. I've turned into 6 months. I've enjoyed the 6 months, so I think I'm going to turn it into a year. Even though I'm still doing real estate transactions with partners and investors and by myself too, and so I'm still doing that. But my day-to-day activity, I'm kind of taking some time off. But I like to really focus on my real estate, and I really like to. There's a lot of things that I can bring to Arkansas. I feel like to Central Arkansas that are not here now, and so I'm just working with the chamber on that and seeing what my next step is. Okay. But I know when we met earlier, I was kind of joking with you about it's just like an athlete, right? And you've been playing this sport for so many years, and then when you retire, and you're still in your 30s. And so it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
And so I can see how that could be the challenge. But good thing for you that you're smart, you're ambitious, and you've already had that exit strategy already in mind, and it played out perfectly. Now you're young, and now you can go on and do some other great things for our Little Rock region. And so I just want to thank you for being a proud member of the Chamber and a recent graduate of leadership of Greater Little Rock, and I'm looking forward to watching what's next for you and being involved with the Chamber as much as possible. Thank you all for watching our story. I'm Brandon Campbell. Until next time.